This morning, a desperate race against time as rescue crews continue to dig through the rubble of a popular Dominican Republic nightclub. Authorities there vowing to remain determined in the search, saying we will continue as long as there is a family member who reports that their loved one is in the rubble. First responders reporting hearing some sounds amid the debris, and relatives even receiving phone calls from victims trapped in the rubble, according to authorities. Families checking posted lists with names of the victims. One woman holding out hope for her niece, saying, we have faith that she will appear. The tragedy happening early Tuesday morning in the heart of Santo Domingo's National District. Videos capturing the moment the roof of the Jet Set nightclub caved in during the performance of singer Ruby Perez, who was killed. Officials also confirming the death of Cruz, a governor in the DR who called the president of the Dominican Republic from under the rubble, according to the country's first lady. Also killed 2 former Major League players, according to officials. One-time Nationals first baseman Tony Blanco and relief pitcher Octavio Dotel, who was taken to the hospital, according to local reports, but did not survive. MLB teams paying tribute, with the commissioner sending heartfelt condolences in a statement, writing in part, the connection between baseball and the Dominican Republic runs deep, and we are thinking of all the Dominican players and fans across the game. The Dominican Republic's president declaring 3 national days of mourning as a heartbroken nation prays for any signs of life. Well, the Jet Set nightclub has released a statement saying, in part, quote, it is collaborating fully and transparently with the relevant authorities to assist the victims and clarify what happened. Now, back in 2023, this nightclub was struck by lightning. A fire ensued. It's unclear if that fire wasn't a factor in any way in this tragedy. Also unclear when this club was last inspected. Many questions this morning, Willie.
Terrible tragedy. Aaron McLaughlin, thanks so much, Aaron.
All right, so if you guys saw the last video that I did, we covered most of this stuff, but you know, the video that I made, they claimed that only 44 people had died at that point, and now the tally has gone up to 124 people, 124, and that's also including the singer that you know, they announced that he survived in the other video, but now they're claiming that he passed away. Ruby Perez. Remember, we talked about how he had the March 8th birthday. And we know that's a faithful number, 38, because it comes up a lot in tragedies, especially in the deaths of celebrities. Of course, the word murder, death, killing, R.I.P., they all equate to 38. In the case of this nightclub, remember when we spoke about how the club was called Jet Set, and it has a 38 in it, just like murder and death and killing. And there's also 79 and 83 like murder. And if you guys saw the reporting yesterday, actually, late last night, they said that 79 people were found dead. That was the last time they reported. Actually, they updated it today to 100. They went from 79 to 113, and now from 113 they're at 124 right now. But we spoke about the significance of 79 and what it had to do with the name of the club. Is because in Gematria, Jet Set equals 79, so that's why they claimed that 79 people had passed away yesterday, late last night. And then, of course, they had 113 and now 124. Now, Ruby Perez, you know what, this is what, you know, if you want to know what I think, again, I can't prove any of this stuff, but, and I don't know how it's possible, but I think he faked his death, even though he was in there. I think he was able to escape, and I don't think this guy is dead because you know, they supposedly found his corpse, but if you guys remember what the reporting was yesterday, they claimed that the daughter confirmed that he was found because he was singing, and you know, the rescuers was able to find him because of his voice. He was supposed to be singing under the rubble. Let's see what I can find. Look at this right here. So it says Perez's daughter, Selenka, who is also one of his backup singers, she told local media that her father was found singing. That means he was found alive, right? Under the debris. So if they found him singing yesterday, how is it that today they supposedly found him dead? It's just like, I'm telling you, and now nobody has seen this guy's body. The news, the reporters came out and said that they found his body, but nobody has physically seen it. It's a mystery. Nobody knows where he is. They're just saying that they're just going by what the police is reporting. Even though his daughter said that he was singing, he sung his way out of that, out of the debris. All right, but look at this, you guys. So they also reported that another baseball player passed away in the collapse. What's this guy's name? Let me look him up. We spoke about Octavio Dartel, but this guy here, Tony Blanco, I think he played for the Cardinals. He also played for the Red Sox. Let me look up his stats real quick. But real quick, let me just show you guys what they did with him. So his name has the 149 gematria in it. And it's real simple, you guys. If you measure from his last birthday to his death, which was yesterday on April 8th, he died 149 days after his birthday. Yes. And the guy whose name equals 149. But I want to look at I want to see what teams he played for before we get into the decoding. Because I think he either played for the Red Sox or the Cardinals. I'm not sure which one. I don't think he had a long career, though. I think he only played 1 year. Yeah, he has 62 at-bats. He made his debut on April 4th, 2005, and died on April 8th yesterday. So he was drafted by the Expos, but I don't think that was the team that he played for. I think that here it is. He was actually a pitcher, right? I don't know if I can't find any of his stats. He was a bullpen pitcher. That's why he doesn't have a lot of stats on him. Yeah, he played in 2005. I just saw it. Here it is. Yeah. Okay, so he played for the Nationals. He played 1 season for the Nationals. He died at the age of 43. 43 years old. Which means he was in his 44th year of life. We spoke about 44 because that's how many people were dead yesterday when I did the live stream. 62 at-bats. We know why, because Major League Baseball. What is it? What is it that's 62? Is it Major League? Oh, I think it's... What is it at 62 about baseball? There's a 62 in baseball somewhere. But we know sacrifice is 62. I think it might just be the team, the Seattle Mariners, that has that 62 gematria. Anyways, if you notice up here, Tony Blanco, born November 10th, 1981, right? Today's 150 days after his birthday, right? But he died yesterday on 4/9. Which means he died 149 days after his birthday. And notice in gematria, the name Tony Blanco, it equals 149. Now, this had me puzzled this morning. I'm like, how are they doing this, right? Like, okay, because so Octavio, the other guy that died was Octavio Dartel. His name has the 51 in it, and he died at the age of 51 yesterday. Yeah, we know conspiracy is 51. We spoke about that. The other guy who died, the singer, his name is also 51. His name is also 57. He died on the 57 date numerology. Ruby Perez, his name is also 51 and 57. His name is just like World Series, by the way. And I remember Octavio Dartel, he won the World Series with the Nationals. And then this guy, Tony Blanco, he also... No. Octavio, he won the World Series with the Cardinals. And this guy, he played for the Nationals in 2005. Okay, yeah, that's what it was. And the Nationals also have a championship under their belt. But what I was wondering is like how are they pulling this off, right? Because obviously these two players were scheduled for the sacrifice to happen. It's just unfortunate that they had to do it this way. I mean, they had to take down a whole entire roof while it was being occupied by hundreds of people. I mean, these people are really, really, really sick and satanic, man. But what I was wondering is like, how do they get these two baseball players to be at the same location, at the same time, and to be, at the right place at the right time for this tragedy to happen? It's just really mind blowing how this stuff is executed, really. Also, another baseball player that's involved is Nelson Cruz, because his sister passed away. She was, like you guys saw in the video earlier in the beginning of the stream. His sister was is a governor in one of the cities down there in DR, and he's 44 years old right now. So he gets rid of his sister by the numbers at the age of 44. And I think this guy also has like a World Series under his belt. So yesterday was 281 days after his birthday. He played for Texas, Seattle, Minnesota. He also he retired as the San Diego Padres. I know the Padres are doing really good right now. From July 1st, 281 days. His name is 48. There it is. And his name is also 51. You see that? So, and his name is also 147, like World Series. But you guys see that? His name is 48, like how the tragedy happened yesterday on 4/8. And don't forget, Nightclub. Nightclub is 48 and 147. There it is, 147 and 148, like Nelson Cruz, who just sacrificed his sister at the Nightclub. 147 and 48, like Nightclub. Look at that. See that? The numbers, they don't lie. His name is 147 and 48, like Nightclub. And then he loses his sister, the governor, on 4/8, along with the other two baseball players and the singer Ruby Perez. So these are some updates. They didn't have none of these revelations yesterday when I did the live stream. So, but no doubt this is the more ritualistic sacrifices. It seems to be connected to the World Series because I saw that Pedro Martinez was on ESPN, with his fake tears, like we see all the time with these celebrities. And the funny thing about Pedro Martinez is that he was born on October 25th, which is Game 1 of the World Series this year. So there's a puzzle being created for the upcoming World Series, and I think this is a huge piece of it. Tony Blanco. It's gonna be clear after obviously once the World Series is set, but our job is to try to figure this stuff out before the World Series comes around. His name is also 121, like Blood Sacrifice. Oh, man. Blanco. Yeah, but Ruby Perez dies at the age of 69. We know Society of Jesus equals 69, like Illuminati. Very important number there, that 69. And remember what we said about his full name. His full name has the Jesuit order connection. His name is 153 forwards using the rules of numerology and 144 in reverse with the rules of numerology. And those numbers connect to Jesuit order. The people truly behind this devastation, this tragedy. Notice this Jesuit order is 144 and 153 like his full name. I don't think 124 will be the final tally, though. You'll probably get like I won't be surprised if they say like 162, because that's the baseball number. So they might, I might get another 38 people in there. Funny. There's at least 124 people are known to have died when the roof of a Dominican Republic nightclub collapsed Tuesday morning, and 155 transferred. This is the thing as well, right? Yeah, it's very possible that there's no more people under the collapse roof, but some of the people who have been injured can also die at the hospital. So this number can definitely rise by tomorrow. And if you guys see it at 162, just know that this is all baseball related. Baseball equals 162, like there's 162 games in a regular season. Major League Baseball is also 162. So that might be the number that they go with. That means that they need to get rid of another 38 people. So it's possible. If there's 155 people at the hospital, very possible they get rid of another 38 people to get that number up to 162. These people are that sick. I mean, and also I want to show you guys a video, and you guys tell me if you guys think this is not the work of man and not an accident. Okay, so look at this video, you guys. All right. So, I don't know if you guys can see that, but this is a small hole that developed in the middle of the club right before it collapsed, right? And, the people from the workers there, they were cleaning up the debris that was falling from this hole. So you got to ask yourself, right? So if this hole is, why nobody went up there to see exactly what was going on? Let me show you guys the video. You see, there's obviously debris falling down. You see the floor. People looking up like, man, the roof is falling, and then just seconds later, the whole thing comes down, right? My thing is, what I think happened is that this stuff was prepped. All the right parts were loosened right before the club opened, and then once all the people were gathered in the club, once the singer was on stage, they did the final touches, and that's why some of the pieces was coming down. I don't know if there's people in the roof doing this stuff. I don't know exactly how it was executed, but that's what it seems like to me. Because it's just unbelievable that this roof is going to come down at the right moment while the club is full of people and while the singer's on stage. And then for these celebrities to be there and for them to die in such a numerical pattern. Tony Blanco dead 149 days after his birthday when his name equals 149. And then Octavio Dartel dead at 51 when his name equals 51. I mean, these are the same patterns that we always discuss here. And then the guy, Nelson Cruz, whose name equals 48, he loses his sister. So a lot of baseball-related rituals with this tragedy. 3 baseball players were impacted by this tragedy. Nelson Cruz loses his sister, the guy with the 48 name. 2 baseball players lose their life in connection to their name gematria. And then a singer who has a 3/8 birthday. Not hard to see what really happened, yesterday at this nightclub. And again, nightclub equals 48. Nightclub is also 147. Remember what I said yesterday? Yesterday was 147 days after the Superior General's birthday, Arturo Sosa. At least 145 people were rescued. Of course, Catholic is 145. None of these numbers have to be accurate. They could just report a number. Doesn't have to be accurate. But I do think people did lose their life. I don't think this is a hoax, because there was clearly people in there when the roof came down. A lot of people think that these tragedies are all hoaxes. That's not the case. But in the case of Ruby Perez, I do find it suspicious that yesterday his daughter confirmed that he was found singing, and now they're saying that he was found, his body was found under all the concrete. It's just these people don't know what to lie about. They don't know how to fix their lies. Just one thing what I want to do. And don't forget who died on this date in history, right? DMX, another ritual sacrifice. Okay, that makes sense. Now I see what that 124 is all about. And this happened 48 weeks after his birthday. Oh my gosh, man. Look at this, you guys. So Fernando Villalona. Fernando Villalona, he's another merengue singer. Probably one of the most popular ones in the Dominican Republic. And I saw a video that said that he was the one who found Ruby Perez. He was the one that made Ruby Perez the star that he is, right? Or the star that he was. And, notice from his birthday, he was born May 7th, 1955. From his birthday to the tragedy yesterday, exactly 48 weeks, you guys. And again, Illuminati equals 48, like Nightclub, and this happened on 4/8. Yesterday was exactly 48 weeks after his birthday. Fernando Villalona. The guy with the May 7th birthday. He's also 69. So yeah, this is a huge ritual. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Moraine, his name is also 153, like Jesuit order, by the way, his full name. But isn't Merengue a 38 name? It is. Merengue is also 38, you guys. Yep. So these Merengue stars. Yeah, that is interesting. That with all the planes that have came down recently, and then now we have a club named Jet Set. Yeah, and reminding us of what happened on 9/11 with the jets and 9/11 and the collapse of the towers. So Audio Oracle says that collapse has that gematria of 83, like murder. Yep. Shout out to Gloria. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to the community. It is kind of scary, but I think it's better to know than not to know. I think the not knowing is actually scarier. You shouldn't be afraid of gematria. Gematria helps you see through the lies. Yes, I remember that. The Padres, they sacrificed their announcer, just like how they did with Vince Scully. You're right about that. I do remember that. I think I have that in my notes somewhere. Let's see. And I was saying right after the World Series that if the Padres do make it to the World Series, he'll probably be synced up with that announcer. I remember saying that. They were saying that he's as legendary as Vince Scully. I do remember that. Thank you for reminding me about that. It was Jerry Coleman. Jerry Coleman. Yeah, because I remember last year Jerry Coleman, legendary broadcaster, died on. Was it him? Because he died in 2014. I don't know if it was him though. It might be somebody else. Oh man. Was it Dick Enberg? No, he died in 2017. This is the guy. This is the guy right here. I think he died at the age of 80. Yeah, he died in 2023 though, March 11th. Maybe not. I don't think that was him. It was actually more recent. Yeah, it's possible it was Dick Enberg. Dick Enberg. Because this is the video that I saw him alongside Vince Scully. He died at the age of 82. They got rid of Vince Scully at the age of 94 and then won the World Series 117 weeks after his death. And 117 days after Shohei Ohtani's birthday, when Dodgers and Major League Baseball both won 17. Dick Enberg, yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, the Padres, they're doing really good, you know. They haven't lost a home game yet. They're 10-3. Yeah, this is the team that I've been talking about, the Padres, because they was really close to being the Dodgers last year. We'll see though. We'll keep an eye on the Padres, but I like the Padres this year though, because So Gloria says, with all the planes falling out the sky, it's weird too that the club is called Jet Set. Yeah. Exactly. They had a plane. It's like every week they had a plane coming down. Yeah, that's the part that I don't know how it's so perfectly executed, right? How do they pull this off without nobody noticing it though? Obviously it was done from the top, right? But maybe something, I don't know how this stuff is so perfectly executed like this and nobody seems to be noticing any of it. And the other part is you don't know if there was any devices used, right? It could have been like small bombs to make it all collapse at the same time. Maybe it was detonated, right? Maybe it was detonated. That's another possibility. And the hole in the middle of the roof was just a distraction, and that's probably why somebody was recording it, right? They could use technology to bring that roof down. That is another possibility. You know, have a detonator, have it come down precisely at the time. We don't know because none of us was there, and then I think you can't really hear much in those videos that were recorded with the cell phones. But one thing's for sure, this is the work of man. This was not an accident. This was not negligence. This was murder. The murder of Tony Blanco, the murder of Ruby Perez, Octavio Dartel, and also Nelson Cruz's sister, and the 120 people that passed away. You know, because right now they're saying 124, but who knows if this increases though. Yeah, your sports decoder say you never get a notification when I'm streaming. Yeah, that's because this channel has been tarnished, censored. People claim that there's no censorship, but just think about that. If you're subscribed to the channel, you have the notifications on. Why wouldn't you be receiving a notification when I'm doing a live stream? That proves that there's censorship. They're censoring this channel. They don't want people to know that we're live. That's why the views are so low. So Nelson Cruz, he has a championship. He does, right? I was trying to see. I was trying to find that. I couldn't find it. He's never won a World Series championship. No, he has no championships. Nelson Cruz. Is he even active still? He's with the Padres. Well, no, he was with the Padres last year. I don't think he's active though. But he is a former Padres. That's funny. Yeah. All right. So I'll leave it there. Thanks everybody for joining us. Hit the like, share the videos, and I'll try my best to keep you guys updated on this story. Again, Ruby Perez murdered by the code, but I do believe there's more to his death. You know, I think he pulled a Kobe Bryant on us. You know, the guy was supposed to be singing, and that's how they found him. Yeah, okay. Thank you for watching. Enjoy your Wednesday, guys. Thank you.